Check it, check it, check it.
Let's go. What you grinning about?
You ready?
Always.
What's up, everybody?
Yo.
Podcast time?
It's time to alert there, huh?
I have no clue. I've never heard my phone do. Was that you?
No, that was you.
It sounded like you was looking like with your phone, somebody was dinging you. That's what it sounds like when.
Okay, let's restart this.
I don't know, but that's the sound it makes when you like ding it on your watch.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
Yo.
Podcast time.
Always fun.
Always fun. Got the man, the myth, the legend, Pastor Joseph Norris, after a long summer of youth camp, couple vacations.
Couple.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Honestly, went to Becca's mom and dad's place. They got a pool near the house. Got some, got truck refinance, a little bit of interest rate, stuff like that.
Come on.
Good stuff. But
Camp meeting.
yes, camp meeting was good.
It's good.
Camp meeting was good.
Where else you go this summer?
So youth camp meeting. Went to Kentucky.
Kentucky.
That was fun. I enjoyed the art, but I really enjoyed the Creation Museum. Had a lot of historical things there. And so we thank you and the church for that. That was awesome.
Caleb, what kind of hat you got on today, Bob? That's a different one. Never seen that before.
Yeah.
I've had this thing for like a month almost.
Caleb's got a girlfriend now.
He does.
Let's go. Go ahead, Caleb.
So for all the ladies that keep messaging saying, hey, is your son single? The answer is no. Not
No
anymore.
one's ever messaged that.
Not anymore.
Wow. That's a good thing, Joseph.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing for you. Maybe not a good thing for the ladies. You know what I mean?
It'll be fine. I like mine.
Stupid. So podcasts are always interesting because I feel like there's 1,000 different directions you can go, a lot of different things you can talk about, especially with depending on who's on the podcast with you, things you can say, things you can go through, work through. Last time me and Tony talked about AI a little bit, and I was interested. Was that last week's?
That's definitely a Tony conversation.
Weeks ago, but yeah, it was interesting. So it's always fun, but I think you've been here a year,
Yes, sir.
almost to the week. I mean, a couple weeks ago you celebrated a year,
Yes, sir. August 1.
and so so a month out of that, and so in a year we have launched a campus, we have moved campus to a new building, we have gone through all video teaching, we've gone all live teaching, we've gone hybrid teaching, we've tag team messages, we've done a little bit of it all. We've seen that nothing is right or wrong in any of those. Like there's a lot of different ways to do campus ministry and a lot of different paths that you can take. And so let's just spend a few minutes talking about campus ministry, because I think sometimes people don't understand campus ministry, or why are we doing this? Why would we go down the road 10 miles, not even 10 miles, 8 miles, whatever it is, and start a church when all of those people could come over here? Why would we go down the road and start a church 10 miles away? So let's talk campus ministry and talk just small conversation, little nuts and bolts type conversation about campus ministry. So why would you agree to come here and do campus ministry?
I think that starts with, something that we've covered here before, and that is, I knew that God has placed you in a significant role in my life. You as our leader, our shepherd, our pastor. And so for me, I knew that God was starting something different. I knew it was connected to you. I didn't know exactly what that was. And so when we began conversations, this is the thing that come up. And so for me, it was an opportunity to serve with you, and learn how to do kingdom work in a different way. And then from the campus ministry perspective, I'd always had I'm gonna say almost like a flirtation with church planning.
Yeah.
And so this was almost like a incubated way to see what that's like. Because and the beautiful thing about campus ministry is I don't have to worry about finances. I don't have to worry about property. I don't have to worry about the major things that church planners have to deal with. But at the same time, I get to still approach it with a church planting mindset of creating something new in a different area, even in the same region type thing. And so for me, it married the things that I felt like God was stirring inside of me with the person that I felt like God was stirring inside of me. And it's been a ride.
Campus ministry is for a church planter probably the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about a lot of the things that church planners worry about, but you get to have your fingerprint on a lot of the things that church planners want to have their fingerprint on. So, biggest takeaway from campus ministry so far in 1 year, never done campus ministry before, you're a year into it. What's your biggest takeaway from campus ministry?
That people are people, and we should always remain flexible. Campus ministry, and I think you talked about it, the concepts of church planning and campus ministry, a lot of them will weave in and out of one another. That, like you said, in the year that we've been doing this, we've changed buildings, we've changed methods, we've changed, there's so many different things, people have changed around us and different positions, people who are doing the music, the styles of music, all of those things have, changed. And really, I've been here a year, but really campus ministry part's been about 8 to 9 months. And so in that amount of time, we've seen a drastic amount of change. And so it's where in my opinion, traditional ministry, you almost have to do slow go. You can't, change is almost a bad thing. In this ministry, you almost embrace it. Change is good. Change means we're learning. Change means that we're growing. And being flexible to that. You can't, to me, I've learned not to just, okay, this is how it's going to be. This is what it is. I've had to learn to say, okay, this thing is constantly morphing into what I believe God would have it to be. And we haven't always gotten it right. But we haven't always gotten it wrong either. And we're still learning and growing even together in this, because, you've never launched campuses, and I've surely never led a campus. And so, watching our relationship grow, watching this ministry grow, flexible is the thing. And the reason I mentioned people earlier is because even in the midst of that, people are still people. And you have to understand that if I can't get so caught up in the mission that I forget about the people that are serving with. They're more than just parts of the puzzle. They are the puzzle in a lot of ways.
And we understand the change, and many times they don't understand the change. If you don't communicate the change well to them, then they feel almost like they're doing something wrong, which is why the change is happening, rather than, no, change is good. Change is healthy.
Yes.
Caterpillar to butterfly, baby. We go.
That's right. That's
right.
Know?
It's the hardest part of campus ministry. And inside of the week, inside of the services, inside of what is the hardest part of campus ministry in and of itself?
I think the same, again, probably going in that same vein of church planning and campus ministry. I went back and revisited the last couple of weeks, the book launch that you gave me before we started. I encourage any church planner to read a great book. And, assembling major pieces of the puzzle, music, you know what I mean, kids, things like that, things that in most traditional churches are already set up. And so you kind of build around that core. Everything you build is organic. Everything from, for the most part. Now, we've been blessed in the campus ministry to have a launch team. And so I didn't have to go out there into the Walmarts, into the byways and highways to try to recruit every piece of the puzzle. But those specialized ministries specifically have been some of our biggest challenges in that. And then for me, just learning to, for lack of a better words, I don't mean it's any combative way, but submission. You know what I mean? Because in campus ministry, submitting completely to the vision and direction, and understanding that I can have ideas and plans, and I don't think you've ever, faux pas anything I've brought forward, but just even understanding at the end of the day, what you say goes, because you're a leader, you're a pastor. Mm-hmm. And I think managing that world of you being the pastor, overall, the visionary.
Yeah, that's
even
tough.
Though
That's tough.
Yeah, and you know, the day to day, I'm the relationship part of it. But in the day, you're our leader. You know what I mean? And getting people to understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
We understand that. But getting the everyday church attender to grasp that, because if you're not careful, it creates this unhealthy environment of us and them, and that's not the purpose of campus ministry.
Yeah, to me, one of the hardest parts of campus ministry is giving the campus the freedom to be a campus, but finding their connection back to the whole, so that we can all remain one big happy family. Mm-hmm. And what I find throughout the Church of God and throughout relationships I have with campus ministry is that there is some sort of struggle where we don't struggle with it. Mm-mm. And that's the weird thing, is we don't struggle with it, but yet people who serve with you, or and not even you, like in other parts of the country where people are doing campus ministry, the campus pastor and the lead pastor don't struggle with the understanding of what's happening here. But oftentimes people that are surrounding that campus pastor may struggle with it, to which then it becomes difficult conversation. That shouldn't have been difficult conversation. That should have never even been conversation, because you and I are on the same page. We know what's happening. We know what's going forward. Right. And if you're not careful, voices get in the way. It's to me, and we've had this conversation about even when we launched Conway, COVID kind of kicked that one in the butt. But we had voices that kind of steered it away from the original intent of this is the reason why we're doing campus ministry. And there's a lot of reasons to do campus ministry. There's a group that drive all the way from Timbuktu, and so let's go to Timbuktu so they don't have to drive all the way from Timbuktu. That's a reason to do campus ministry. Mm-hmm. There's a reason to do campus ministry of, here goes a community in need. They need a church. We need to be a light here in this community. Let's go launch a campus there. That's a reason to do campus ministry. There's here goes an opportunity, like is what we're doing now. Here goes an opportunity. There's never enough churches. We always need one more church. Let's go into this community because the building's already there. The facility's ready for us, be it South Campus or now at Socastee. Let's go here and let's start something. There's an opportunity to do it. And so that's a valid reason to do campus ministry as well. So there's a lot of reasons why to do campus ministry, but the heartbeat of any ministry that you're doing is ultimately to reach the lost, and so that somebody's life is transformed and changed. And I think a lot of the ins and outs, nuts and bolts of those things get lost in what is truly the mission. The mission is for lives to be transformed and changed.
Absolutely.
That's the goal of everything that we do.
Absolutely.
And so, anyways, I think campus ministry is one of those things that probably the average listener, they don't even understand why we're doing this. And I think that it's one of those things where, you guys are probably out of sight, out of mind now, especially now that you're out of the South Campus. You're probably out of sight, out of mind. They don't even realize we have a Socastee campus. And then whenever I call it out on Sunday morning and say, welcome to our Socastee campus, they're like, where's that at? Whatever it may be. But I think for me, the heart of what I see the future of this ministry being is a campus-driven church where we are multiplied into a lot of different areas and a lot of different communities, because I think what we do here is valuable and effective enough that it needs to be taken other places.
I agree. And one joy coming from a pastoring background is now there's a target that's been painted for me, and I get to go for that target. I get to approach knowing that the Socastee community is who we're trying to reach. And if people come from other places, that's great. Right. But I understand from a campus perspective, the campus is located in the heart of Socastee, in the heart of that neighborhood, in the heart of those families. And so I have a very targeted approach of the type of ministry that we're trying to accomplish.
Love it.
And to me, that makes doing ministry somewhat easier. Sure, the nuts and bolts things are always going to be there. You got to have music, you got to have kids, you got to have the infrastructure of church and the people and all that kind of stuff. But as far as why we're doing it, where we're doing it, it's not a here at the main campus, their central campus rather. We have people come all the way from North Carolina, to come to church here, Georgetown. I mean, all these different places that travel hours to this house and campus ministry. I'm able to be placed in this area and say, okay, this is your area. This is what we want you to do.
It truly becomes more of a community church.
Correct.
Yeah. We're here for the community.
And that's okay.
Absolutely. To me, I think it is healthier long term. Mm-hmm. How long will people drive an hour? I don't know.
Right.
I'm thankful for the people that drive an hour, but the truth is the people that drive the people that are able to walk to your church, they're going to be the most long-term connected to your church, most likely,
Right.
So to me, long-term community churches are going to be way more healthy and effective inside of the kingdom of God. I could be wrong.
Right.
Just my thoughts.
And sometimes you can over spiritualize things, but I feel like what we do is very spiritual in nature. One thing that's helped me is always looked at Jesus feeding the 5,000. There were 5,000 people that needed the meal that he was serving.
Yep.
But in order to serve them, he sat them down in groups of 50, in groups of 100, and said, now go take care of those. Yep. The same 5,000 were fed from the same source. But this disciple took care of this 50 and 100. And this disciple, so is
that the model of campus ministry? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like it's a great model to follow. We'll preach it one day. I mean, but to me, how biblical is that? Jesus was the main source. You know what I mean? There were 5,000 plus women and children, and then they sat him in those groups in those pods, and those 12 men went out and served those pods, and they were still connected to Jesus. And when the crowds left and they were taken care of, they still went and camped out with him. They were still part of the nucleus of what was happening. But at the end of the day, they each had a responsibility to serve those groups. But whether it's Socastee, whether it's Horry County, whether it's different places altogether, there are people who need the gospel. And if the Lord's given us the opportunity to take the incredible things that he's doing here and spread it throughout, I don't see how that's a bad thing.
It's powerful. I agree totally. Yeah. Agree completely. So what's next for campus ministry?
As far as specifically at Socastee or in general?
Just in general.
I mean, if we dream it and we got more campuses, baby, we coming. You know what I mean? But
3 years ago, my wife, pre-COVID, so maybe 4 years ago, my wife we were dreaming at a leadership kind of dinner / I don't know, round of fire. We had a book, and everybody's writing down their 5-year, 10-year, 20-year goal type stuff. We were dreaming, and Maddie wrote in a few years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, wrote that in one of her 10 years visions or dreams, she saw Caleb being a campus pastor for us. And the truth is, that's how much I care about campus ministry, that I totally see that being a logical next step for him, to be able to step in and run a ministry like that, and to have the support, stay connected to Dad, but also be able to be his own man out there. I think that's an awesome opportunity for him, and something that, just dreaming, I totally see being, something realistic for his life, if that's the direction he wanted to go.
I can remember even before, I knew that this was something that God would have us to do. When me and you were just connected on a mentor-mentee type relationship, I can remember coming a part of your leadership development graduation just to see how that was done. Yep. And how you poured over prayerfully each individual. And I remember you giving out assignments and how everybody celebrated, and they were going to this ministry, and the people that were getting them were so excited, But I can remember specifically, I don't even know who the individual was, but there was an individual that you had to call because they weren't there. Mm-hmm. I've been praying over this, and I feel like one day you're going to be a campus pastor. And one day when we launch a campus, you're going to be one of those people that's leading this ministry. That was, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was pre-COVID. And so to think about that you can grow up sons and daughters in the faith here organically, and then instead of, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong if they go to other ministries, but to think that they can not only go out, but go out and still be connected to the ministry that originally birthed them to begin with. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's incredible, and I'm excited to be a part of it. The word I keep using a lot with our teams is pioneer, because though there were, like you said, the Conway campus, I feel like in the vein we're in right now, everything we're learning, doing leadership development on the campus, we're learning. We're pioneers.
Absolutely.
The Monday night prayers on the campus, we're pioneers. We're getting ready to start revival services on Wednesday nights. Those things that we're coming together. We're growing through that to pave the way so that by the time we get ready to launch 2, 3, 4, 10 campuses, then hopefully we've been able to be that apostolic to clear the way. Absolutely. So that they can go.
Yeah. Agree totally. And for people watching this that think campus ministry, I had someone tell me one time that maybe it's Peter Pan. What is the island that they send people to?
Neverland?
No, maybe that's not it. Like an island of misfit toys or something.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Baby.
That's Rudolph?
Yes, Rudolph.
Island of misfit toys. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And somebody told me about campus ministry one time. It stung me and made me actually probably righteously angry. But they said something to the effect of, this was, Conway days. Campus ministry is where you send the island of misfit toys. Or is the island of misfit toys, whatever. And I was like, that heart doesn't understand what campus ministry is.
Nah.
Because with both Conway and differently here, but with Conway, Pastor Tony, Kimberly, some of my best leaders we sent there to launch that campus. This time we took a completely different route and hired someone that had the heart of the house, brought him in and helped him, created a incredible team around him. And so, so that is certainly not what campus ministry is.
No.
Campus ministry is, there's a lot of people on that campus that are able to be a part of this ministry that would have never been able to be a part of this ministry any other way except for through your hands, your heart, your ministry. Still connected back to this ministry, but the reason they're able to serve and do and work and be for the kingdom is because of the heart in that community and that church and that place. And so it's not if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not going to do campus ministry. It's crazy and, ridiculous. And man, it's hard. Church planting just in general, I tell people it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But with it comes so much valuable, so much, so many things that are so incredible. And it can't be looked at as a secondary ministry that we're doing. This is the ministry we're doing. We're multiplying ourselves into other places. Yeah. And whether it's my son or whether it's, a spiritual son for Simeon that he's raising up to lead worship and a spiritual son or daughter for Christy that she's raising up to do kids ministry. This is what we're doing from this house. We're sending out, spiritual sons and daughters to go lead ministries in other areas.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful.
I agree. I mean, I just, like I said, just even sitting here thinking about some of the things, it is overwhelming to think about. I mean, you think about it this way. You have, and just to be safe, 1,000, 1,200 people here on a Sunday. Yep. We're in the heart of Myrtle Beach. We're affecting so many different areas of Horry County and beyond. But how difficult would it be for you to go on that level, to go to every county and every place represented by our church on Sunday morning to go do a book bag drive for school?
Yeah, can't do it.
It'd be impossible. So we did this big broad thing where we brought canned goods here to give out to an organization that can then go out. But now on a campus level, I was able on a Saturday to give out 50 or 60 book bags, 50 ice cream cones to a community that may not ever come to 2901, right, but we're still impacted by Palmetto Pointe Church.
That's right.
And so you do that and do it, and you continue to do that, then the global vision is the same, the mission is the same, but then you're able to be more personal on the individual levels in the places that we're being sent. And so the mission of God going forth, and again, you just keep going back to that example that these 5,000 people's got to get fed. Horry County's got to get fed spiritually. We got to see these things come to pass but is it easier for those 12 people to try to maniacally go through the 5,000 and touch each one individually, or put them in groups and pods and then go to them individually and say, hey, are you taken care of? Did you get your fill? Did you, you know what I mean? And so that heartbeat is campus ministry to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's something that we definitely need to even celebrate more. Definitely need to tweak some stuff inside of even how we do things. I'm not really good at celebrating. We talk about this in leadership development. Not really good at celebrating anything. If something good happens, I go, good job. Okay, now let's go.
That's right.
Move forward. That's how I am in my life, my personal life, my ministry life, it's just the way I am. Like, it's okay. That's great. And honestly, almost you're celebrating what you should have done anyways,
Right.
Hey, we gave 2,500 pounds worth of vein sausages and SpaghettiOs to Backpack for Buddies.
Yeah.
It's hard to celebrate that because that's what you should be doing.
Right.
It's kind of the way my mind sees things, So you celebrate it and then you go, okay, now let's move forward.
Yeah.
And so I don't celebrate things really, really well, and I need to get better at it. I need to do a better job of celebrating things, but even campus ministry specifically, I definitely need to do a better job of celebrating what God is doing inside of campus ministry. So I apologize for not celebrating that well, and I will get better at it.
Oh man, you are fine. I promise you. You are good.
What do you think about campus ministry, Caleb?
It's cool.
There you go.
Profile.
There you go.
It's a mental challenge in its own right.
It is.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other things. The online campus is a campus in its own right to me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's over.
Yeah, and honestly, even that, like, you got to figure out how, like, with the online campus, you got to figure out how to view it as a campus and how to view, caring for those people who are watching online from hundreds of miles away, how to care for them, how to support them, how to be there for them in times of need, how to pray for them whenever they need prayer, things of that nature. Did you just fall asleep on me?
No.
Oh, all right. Just making sure.
Man's going into his red zone.
Going red zone. Y'all need to read that book. What is that book called?
At Your Best, Carey
At
Nieuwhof.
Your Best, Carey Nieuwhof. It's been a good book.
Yeah.
What do you think about reading
inside
of staff culture?
No, I before come here used to, I say even before, but adulthood used to love to read, and then responsibilities, life, get away from it. The life we live now with technology, everything's digitized, but the accountability that came along with it. It challenged me, and I've enjoyed every book we've read. I feel like every book we've read has made me better in some way, and if not fully vested myself into it, at least put nuggets inside of me. We need to do this better, And I think I like the way we're doing it on a scale as a staff, because then you're able to see it from so many other different perspectives, and I enjoy reading though. So it's helping. What do you say in leadership development? Leaders are readers.
Leaders are readers.
And so we get to practice what we preach, and I like it.
We read a book as a staff together. I say each week. We do it each week. We do. Maddie calls it book club. We do book club each week and hold each other accountable for what we've read and talk through what we've read. And we just finished All In by Mark Batterson. Phenomenal book. Incredible book. Absolutely incredible.
Love it.
And the new one is going to be called Lasting Impact by Carey Nieuwhof.
Yeah.
Phenomenal book as well.
Hadn't read it yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
Be good. And then Super Bowl, we're here at fantasy football season. We're here at it's that time of the year.
Now listen.
Drafts are coming up.
This was one of Joseph's first podcasts last year.
Last year.
When he got to make his
Last
football
year,
predictions.
you had your prediction, and it was...
No, we kind of comboed it, because obviously I put Philadelphia in the Super Bowl.
And I put the Chiefs.
And you put... No. We
Come on.
Review the tape.
I put the Broncos.
You said, let's ride.
Let's ride.
In that microphone.
And that's where I'm going back again this year.
So
You know
I
who's
was
going
wrong.
to the Super Bowl this year?
I had the Bills.
Them Broncos. Let's ride.
I'm going to tell you, I am a Philadelphia fan, so my heart says Philadelphia, and the AFC's hard. They're going to cannibalize each other between Kansas City,
Denver.
Nope.
Kansas City,
We're terrible.
Cincinnati, Buffalo. Will the Jets make an appearance with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
We don't know.
Jaguars could be legit.
Old
or
Trevor
terrible.
Lawrence, Clemson boy.
I have an NFC pick.
As long as
Dallas?
it's not the Cowboys.
I have
what
an
every
NFC
Cowboys
pick
fan
that
has
is
said for the
going
last
to be
46 years.
It's going to be a little bit controversial.
I know. I feel like I know where you're going.
No, you don't.
You've been listening to ESPN.
No,
Go ahead.
I don't listen to ESPN at all. I haven't watched a show on ESPN in years.
All right.
I don't listen to any talk show. This is sheerly me.
All right. I want to hear it. I'm invested
This
now.
is sheerly Jamie Barfield.
Okay.
We're clipping this.
Go ahead and clip it. Super Bowl 54? Is that what we on?
Bro,
57?
Denver played in Super Bowl 50.
57? What we on?
I don't know. We in the 50s, I believe.
We in the 50s.
It's 7 or 8.
Super Bowl 50. Maybe I say 57 and it's only 56, and then this works next year. So either way, Super Bowl 57, Broncos versus the Bears.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
0% chance.
All the talking heads are on the Justin Fields train right now.
I'm on the Justin Fields train.
It's 58.
Yeah, I'm serious. I figured you'd been watching
Unless that
because there are a lot of people on the Justin Fields train, and he's got some help now and getting
it's
the Moore
58.
kid and from Charlotte, and
DJ Moore.
DJ. Yeah, so we'll see.
The Bears. Me and Josh Malinsky, we're on the Bear train.
Hey, well, it is good that Aaron Rodgers is out of NFC North. You got old
Kirk Cousins.
Detroit's coming out of
but
that
you got
division.
Motor City Dan, baby. You got to deal with Motor City
Get
Dan.
out of my face.
Detroit's coming out of that division.
What about your college football? What's your Gamecocks gonna do?
We're going to finish.
I cannot look through the schedule and see a game that they lose.
I love talking football with you. It's my
I
favorite.
don't see one
It's
game
my
they
favorite.
lose this year.
We play Georgia.
We're going to whoop Georgia like a redheaded stepchild. I don't know where that saying came from. It's probably inappropriate, but I've heard it a lot. Redheaded stepchild. But
Last
we're going
year,
to whoop Georgia.
you sat in this microphone and you said you were going to beat Georgia,
Yep.
Tennessee,
And
and Clemson.
And you know what we
you
did?
went 2 for 3. 66.7%.
That ain't bad.
That's not bad.
And everybody thought I missed all three of them. But this year, I'm going to tell you,
Okay.
we're going to whoop Georgia.
Oh,
Whoop Georgia.
Whoop.
That means more than 3 points.
I'm talking about it's going to look like a whooping.
Strong.
If we beat them by 10, it's a whooping.
It at least 17.
At least 17.
And
I love
then-
it. I love preseason.
And then we're going to have a hiccup along the way.
We
Let's
always
just
like
be honest.
Vanderbilt or
You know,
Missouri.
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Lord.
something like that. We're gonna hiccup. Citadel. I don't know who we play. Somebody like that. We're gonna have a hiccup along the way.
Bethune-Cookman College.
So we're gonna have 2 losses going into that Clemson game.
Uh-huh.
And then I cannot see us beating Clemson back-to-back years.
really?
I don't know, man.
say
This
that.
is the least
Well,
confident.
listen, I am a very honest fan. I can't see us losing a game, but I also am very realistic and know that if we win 8 games, that's an amazing season.
Let's just go game by game. Week 1 against UNC.
Nobody on here cares. Let's go game by game.
We gonna beat
We're
UNC,
gonna whoop UNC.
Furman,
Whoop them.
Georgia,
Whoop them.
Mississippi State,
Whoop them.
Tennessee,
Whoop them.
Florida,
Whoop them.
Missouri,
Whoop them.
Texas A&M,
Whoop them.
Jacksonville State,
Whoop them.
Vanderbilt,
Whoop 'em.
Kentucky,
Whoop 'em.
Clemson.
That may be the game we lose.
The game?
I feel like he's
We're gonna
doing
do-
reverse psychology here. Because it's in Carolina this year, right?
Yeah,
It is.
Played Death Valley last year.
Yeah.
We got no home field advantage.
This
we
is
are.
that's not true. Columbia at night with the new lights.
I
It's fun as a Clemson fan.
We have one of the top 10.
I know. I
Biggest sets of home
struggle
field
so
advantage in
badly with
college
the
football.
Gamecocks. I love them and I hate them all at the same time.
Right.
I wish I went to school there because then it would feel like there's a reason to love them as much as I do.
Right. I understand. I
understand?
understand completely. As a Tiger, I get it. I ain't never been to Clemson.
But not going to school there and loving them the way that I do just makes me mad at them.
Because they got your money and time for no reason.
Oh, stupid. So
Oh.
so what's your so who you got?
Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, I'm gonna say Heart Philadelphia. Realistic. This is gonna be a shocker for even a Philadelphia fan to say maybe I'm putting the bad juju on them. I'm gonna say Dallas.
0% love.
Dallas has to come out of the NFC. That defense is filthy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they have a chance.
Michael
this
Parsons
year.
is nasty.
That's a bad man. That's a bad match. So Dallas, and then I'm going to say Buffalo, this is the year they break through.
Buffalo. I'm going Broncos, Bears. Caleb?
Buffalo, San Francisco.
Wow. Who's their quarterback this year?
Doesn't matter. That offense is gross around them. That offensive line is strong, and that defense is
Do y'all know
still
who won fantasy football last year in our church staff league?
It was you, right?
Okay, just want to make sure y'all knew that. It was me.
But I got Sunday ticket this year.
Victory.
So it's going to be different.
Victory. It's different because you can watch them when people get hurt, go pick up their backup real quick.
That's right.
I'm glad Sunday Ticket is on YouTube this year because
Let's
then
go.
you can feel like you can watch some games. So
Great Father's Day gift. I appreciate it.
thank you, Becca, for getting that for him for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Becca got it for you?
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome.
Back in the girls.
Thanks, Becca and the girls. All right, so Broncos, Bears, Bills, Cowboys, Bills, Niners.
Bills, Niners.
All right. I don't believe.
Nobody's got the Chiefs.
Because he's being dumb.
Can't take the Chiefs. Can't take them.
Kansas City, Detroit. Just a secondary pick.
Secondary.
Secondary is going to be rematch. Philadelphia.
All right, well,
Kansas City.
y'all have a good day. God bless y'all. See you later. Peace
Love
out.
you guys.
Let's go.
Later.